Hi there. I'm going to continue with the nursing home stories. This one that I'm going to tell today is about a specific room that pretty much the entire time that I was on night shift it stayed empty. There wasn't anyone renting it. It was room 241 in the new section of the lodge. What happened, I think just when I went to day shift, there was a woman that her son came in and rented the room out for her. And actually, I think she was there for less than a week or two. I can't remember exactly because I just started going to day shift at that time. She had a mix up with her medications. I guess her son wasn't able to get home care for her just yet. Like they were still in the works of doing the paperwork and everything for her. And what happened was she got confused during the night and took like a second dose of her medicine. And she ended up getting really confused and dizzy. She fell and hit her head on the corner of the nightstand. And she ended up in the hospital. And about a week later, she had passed away. Excuse me. The story I'm going to tell now is actually a woman from across the hall and down a bit from her. Her name was Erna. It is Erna, she's still there. When I was on day shift and cooking, I remember she came to the front, like the kitchen, in the morning sometime, probably about 10:30, I think, if I remember correctly. And she was just freaking out and irate. She asked me who had keys to her room. And I explained to her the only one that has keys other than her are us. We have a set of keys that we use, like a master set, other than the manager herself, but she was away during that week. And Erna was just fit to be tied because she said at probably about 3:30 in the morning, paramedics came into her room and woke her up. And how did it go? All I remember is trying to calm her down, and I said, okay, well, the night shift people are still sleeping. I'll talk to them this afternoon and I'll get back to you and let you know what happened. Because she was really worried because the paramedic came in. There was two of them, she said, woke her up and asked her if this was room 241. And she said, no, that's down the hall. And then she followed them out and closed the door behind them and then made sure it was locked. And she was really, like I said, she was really fit to be tied because she felt unsafe after that people can come into her room like that in the middle of the night without blinking an eye and wake her up in her sleep. So I took her around and I showed her like the outside doors, they get locked and alarmed at night, so only we have keys to her room during the nighttime. And she was still shaken up. But we managed to convince her that, okay, well, I'm going to talk to the night shift and we'll figure out what happened. And I remember not really even thinking about the room 241 thing when she said that. I just didn't register. All in my mind I was thinking was, okay, I'm going to ask Donnabelle if the paramedics were called last night. So anyway, probably about, I'm going to guess about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I had left a message for her on her cell because she was sleeping. And she phoned back. And then I relayed this story to her and I asked her, excuse me, I asked her, like, did you guys call the paramedics? What happened last night? And she was looked at me, or she didn't look at me, she wasn't there, but on the phone she was just kind of dead silent for a sec. She goes, we didn't call any paramedics last night. And then I explained, Erna said that the paramedics woke her up in her room and they were looking for room 241. And that's when Donnabelle says to me, that room is vacant. There's nobody in that room. And that's when I kind of went, oh, that's really strange. And then she kind of started to tell me that they had had issues with the phone ringing from room 241 during the night over the last couple of weeks before this incident happened. And she said it was really strange because they knew that Mrs. Vanderberg had passed away. Like, I think it was about a month before that she passed away. And yeah, Jonabelle said like her and Morgan had been getting phone calls during the night every once in a while. And it always showed up as room 241. And then when they went to pick up the receiver, it just went dead. And so yeah, well, she's Philippine. So I don't know if many of you know Philippine customs, but they're deadly scared of spirits. At first I thought it was just like a fear, like a normal scared of ghosts kind of thing, but she said no, like back home they didn't tell ghost stories like we do here. They're scared of them because they believe it's something to do with demons, or the demons could come back. So yeah, this really made her uncomfortable. So after I hung up with her, I kind of went, okay, well, that's really weird. And then I went over to visit Erna in her room, and I said to her, I said, Jonabelle said that nobody called the paramedics last night. And then she looked like really puzzled. And she said, they woke me up and I got out of bed. She said, like, I closed the door and locked it behind them. And I said, I don't know what to tell you. And we just kind of, between me and the manager at the time, I think between the two of us, we managed to convince her that it might have just been a dream. But we didn't tell her about the phone calls that Jonabelle and Morgan had been getting all week from the room as well. So I don't know, because when Mrs. Vanderberg fell, they did call the paramedics. And they came and got her from her room. So I don't know, that's really scary. That one's kind of spooky, I think. That's a night shift tale. Okay, I'm going to let you go, and I'll try and think of another one. Talk to you later.